Have you ever wondered where one country ends and another begins? Well, we're diving into the world's most bizarre borders. Today, we're tackling 3 head-scratching boundary lines that defy logic and are steeped in surprising history. First, we'll explain the tangled mess of enclaves and exclaves that make the border between Belgium and the Netherlands look like a game of geopolitical Tetris. Then, we're venturing to the middle of nowhere, well, almost, to the Diomede Islands, where a straight line separates the US and Russia. Finally, we'll hop over to a tiny island that keeps switching nationalities every 6 months. Yep, you read that right. Get ready for detailed insights, fascinating historical background stories, and some mind-blowing facts that will make you question everything you thought you knew about borders. Baarle-Nassau and Baarle-Hertog. The tiny border towns of Baarle-Nassau, Netherlands, and Baarle-Hertog, Belgium, are a geographical oddity. Imagine a jigsaw puzzle where the pieces of the Netherlands and Belgium are completely intertwined. Here's the twist. Baarle-Hertog, the Belgian town, consists of multiple enclaves surrounded by Dutch territory. But wait, it gets more complex. Within some of these Belgian enclaves, there are tiny Dutch counter-enclaves. This intricate web of borders creates a fascinating situation where you can walk from one country to another by stepping across a pub's doorstep or through someone's house. The bizarre border situation of Baarle-Nassau, Netherlands, and Baarle-Hertog, Belgium, is a result of centuries of land swaps and feudal complexities. Here's how it unfolded. Medieval mosaics. Originally, both Baarle areas belonged to the Duchy of Brabant. However, feudalism fragmented the land into a patchwork of territories owned by different lords. Some lands belonged to the Duke of Brabant, hence Baarle-Hertog, while others fell under the House of Nassau, hence Baarle-Nassau. Treaties and turmoil. Over centuries, numerous treaties, agreements, land swaps, and sales occurred between the lords of Breda, representing Nassau, and the Dukes of Brabant. These agreements typically divided land based on its use. Agricultural or built-up areas often went to Brabant, while others became part of Breda's domain. This resulted in a confusing patchwork where ownership flipped back and forth across small areas. Imagine a town where the border cuts through houses, cafes, and even streets. One side of the room could be in Belgium, subject to Belgian laws, while the other side falls under Dutch jurisdiction. This intricate mess of enclaves and exclaves has led to unique situations. For example, a popular cafe in Baarle has a border running straight down the middle. Customers can sit with one foot in Belgium, enjoying a looser smoking policy, while their friend across the table enjoys a Dutch beer, thanks to more relaxed alcohol laws in the Netherlands. It's a border bender in the truest sense. This complex geography throws up some interesting legal questions too. Imagine running a bar where one side has to close at a particular time due to Dutch regulations, while the Belgian side can stay open later. It's a party pooper's worst nightmare. Diomede Islands. Our first stop takes us to the middle of the Bering Strait, a chilly expanse of water separating Alaska and Russia. Like 2 stepping stones, the Diomede Islands lie here, Big Diomede and Little Diomede. These islands are so close you could almost toss a pebble from one to the other, with a mere 2.4 miles separating their closest points. Imagine standing on the shores of Little Diomede, a speck belonging to the United States, and gazing across the water at Big Diomede, a more oversized island under Russian control. It's a scene that's both visually striking and geographically significant. This bizarre border bonanza takes us to the Bering Strait, where 2 islands, Big Diomede, Russia, and Little Diomede, US, stare at each other across a mere 2.4 miles of icy water. But here's the twist. A whole day separates them despite their proximity. Welcome to the time anomaly of the Diomede Islands. The culprit behind this temporal trickery is the International Dateline, IDL. Imagine an imaginary line snaking through the Pacific Ocean, marking the shift from one day to the next. Due to historical reasons and geographical convenience, the IDL takes a sharp detour around the Diomedes, placing Big Diomede on the western side, Tuesday, and Little Diomede on the eastern side, Monday. This seemingly arbitrary line throws time into a tizzy. Imagine standing on Big Diomede, waving to your friend across the water on Little Diomede. They're living in tomorrow. This 21-hour gap, sometimes 20 hours during daylight saving time, adds a layer of surrealism to these already isolated islands. The Cold War further amplified the strangeness. Big Diomede, under Soviet control, was a closed military zone. Little Diomede, an American territory, became a listening post. The islands, separated by a day and an ideological chasm, became a chilling symbol of the Cold War divide. The Diomede Islands stand as a testament to the fascinating interplay between human-drawn borders and the natural flow of time. It's a reminder that sometimes the most dramatic separations aren't physical distances, but lines drawn on maps and the invisible threads of history. Pheasant Island. This island boasts the unique title of the world's smallest condominium. But what exactly does that mean? Here's the twist. Pheasant Island doesn't pick a side. Sovereignty over the island switches hands every 6 months. On February 1st, Spanish naval commanders from San Sebastian took the reins, and the island remained under Spanish rule until July 31st. Then, on August 1st, a ceremony takes place where the Spanish hand over official documents and French naval commanders from Bayonne assume control for the next 6 months. This symbolic exchange has happened for over 350 years, making it a truly bizarre and enduring tradition. The weird border tour is Pheasant Island, a speck of land in the Bidasoa River that constantly flips nationalities between France and Spain. But this quirky tradition isn't just for laughs. It's rooted in a significant historical event, the Treaty of the Pyrenees. Imagine Europe in 1659. The continent was weary after decades of bloody conflict known as the 30 Years' War. France and Spain, two major players, were locked in a particularly nasty brawl. To end the fighting, representatives from both sides met on, you guessed it, Pheasant Island. This neutral ground proved crucial. After 24 long conferences, the Treaty of the Pyrenees was signed, formally ending the war and redrawing the Franco-Spanish border. But Pheasant Island itself held a special status. The treaty declared it a condominium, meaning France and Spain would share sovereignty. Why such an unusual arrangement? There are a few theories. One suggests avoiding arguments over such a tiny piece of land ownership was more accessible. Another theory points to the island's symbolic value as a neutral space that fostered peace after a long war. It could be both. Whatever the reason, Pheasant Island became a unique symbol of cooperation. The tradition of switching sovereignty every 6 months continues to this day, a quirky reminder of a hard-won peace forged on a tiny island. This unique arrangement wasn't without its challenges. The island, barely more significant than a football field, lacked permanent residents. So, maintaining it fell on caretakers appointed by each country. These guardaos would swap houses every 6 months, highlighting the island's ever-changing nationality. More importantly, the tradition transcended mere symbolism. The island became a buffer zone, preventing skirmishes or unwanted military buildup along the river. In a world where borders are often sources of tension, Pheasant Island stands as a testament to the power of shared responsibility and the enduring legacy of peacemaking. Did you know a single line in the middle of the Bering Strait separates the USA and Russia? This international boundary, literally a stone's throw away, is a fascinating remnant of the Cold War. So, which border blew your mind the most? Do you know of other strange borders that deserve a spot on this list? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this expedition into the weird world of borders, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more unique geographical content, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our next adventure.